Hello and welcome to another tutorial. We will be looking at pigeon pose. Pigeon pose is a nice one, right, for getting releasing your sciatica nerve, your glutes, as well as the other leg, right? When the other leg is nice and straight, you're centering that whole leg. So both sides, you're getting nice benefit. So the 90-90 deer pose position, sometimes I like to start with this to prime the body and get them ready for that pigeon pose. Some things to think about when you're getting ready for the pigeon pose. Sometimes it's not accessible for the person to have their front leg, the shin in line with the top end of their mat. So when they lengthen back, there's a lot of pressure on that right knee, and it's just not accessible. They're really coming on that right glute. So see how you're like this in a way? So from this position, you can bring your heel underneath your right glute and still get some of that benefit. Okay? And still, right? You're still lengthening that back hip in towards your knee. But if you can, eventually working on drawing that heel away and getting the shin in line with the front edge of your mat. When you're in this pose, I like to keep my back toes untucked and the top end of, or the top part of my foot is nice and centered along with that whole leg, right? So you're not opening it up to the side or opening it to the inside. It's nice and centered. And your hips, right? You're not splaying onto your right glute, right? Your hips are nice and even. Eventually you'll get down maybe so that the right glute's on the ground, but with even hips. Okay? I see some people bringing the right glute down and eventually they draw the left hip forward and get more square. I like to get square and then work the length and then one day hope that the right glute can get closer towards the ground. If this is like no, bring this bolster underneath your, just below your glute on the right side. That allows you to keep the right shin somewhat aligned with the top edge of your mat and just more comfort, right? Get your alignment down this way, and then eventually you can play with your edges more and more. So as you're here, right, you can do this both up or sleeping, but tucking your toes and lifting your back knee. Whenever you're doing this, it helps engage that leg and make it more center with your yoga mat. So things to think about. So then I just bring it back down. I like to, before I go to my sleeping pigeon, I like to come up, hands up. As you're coming up though, you're drawing your abdominals in, feeling your pelvic floor engage and lift, but your hips, left hip forward, right hip slightly back. Remember those cues, square with the top edge of your mat. So you have that. You can always, while you're in this pose, do your twists. So in this case, I would counter twist. So you can come onto your left shoulder and then twist and rotate to the right. You can do it the other way, but I like to twist in towards whatever leg is forward. You're obviously down sleeping pigeon, so that's on your forearms. I like to stack my hands on top of each other and rest a forehead or a cheek on the back of your hand. This is where I was saying you can lift your back knee as well here. All right, so many options. Yeah, opening the front thigh of your left leg and then working the glute of your right leg. Opening your throat by keeping your gaze forward. You have your twists, your bind, the bolster cue. Oh, in this pose too, you can always bend your knee here, get your strap, and then hold onto your strap with your hands, working that back bend. As I said, I like to get into it with deer pose, prime the hips a bit, and then send the back leg back. I'm not always doing that though. And I think that's good. So yeah, that's pigeon pose. Some things to think about and consider. Hope you like these. Please like, comment, and share my videos. And yeah, I shall see you next time. Thank you. Ciao.